Hey everybody, this is Sam from 1973 Bronco, and today, well, we're going to talk about just that, my 1973 Bronco. So as you can see, I'm wearing a pretty appropriate shirt for today, cruising through the Smokies, Townsend, Tennessee, Bronco Super Celebration. That was almost 3 years ago. It was my first Bronco Super Celebration, but it certainly won't be my last. The Bronco's been in the shop for about a year, for those of you who know. And for those of you who don't, well, it's been a long journey. We're going to talk about just that in this episode. Over 30 years ago, my dad became friends with a man that he worked with named Ron. Ron lived in the mountains of Colorado and was the third owner of a 1973 Ford Bronco. In 1988, Ron invited my dad to go hunting and camping in the mountains. This led to a yearly tradition of driving around and getting stuck in Ron's old Bronco. As the years went by, and after I was born, Ron became more of an extended family member than just my dad's friend from work. We would visit him in Colorado every year as a family. Ron retired in late 2001 and later was diagnosed with terminal cancer. Before he passed away in the fall of 2002, he drafted a will leaving the Bronco to me. I was 4 years old at the time. My father then drove it nearly 1,000 miles from Colorado to Wisconsin, breaking down only once. My parents tied a bow around the rusty front bumper and showed it to me. I was overjoyed. Growing up, my sister and I were huge fans of the TV show The Dukes of Hazzard, so my earliest memories of the Bronco are of us sitting in it pretending to be racing down an old dirt road like we were in the general lead. When winter came, we would always drive the Bronco into our woods to get the Christmas tree, and in the summer we would get stuck trying to spot deer or other animals in the woods. One memory I have was almost a sad one, when, back in 2003, my two older cousins visited and my dad let them take the Bronco out. Just about gotten it to start when the engine caught fire because of a gas leak. If it weren't for my aunt and a fire extinguisher, I wouldn't have my Bronco today. Fast forward 12 years to when I turned 16 years old. My dad and I finally decided it was time to get serious about fixing my old Bronco. By this time it had sat in our barn for over 12 years and hadn't been driven since it caught fire, so we knew there was a lot of work to be done. My dad and I weren't mechanically inclined at the time and arguably still aren't, but after a few days of getting grease and mud all over ourselves, we had it running. By the end of the month, I started driving around my small farm town, and everyone knew I was coming when they heard it from a half a mile off. Now I'm nearly 22 years old, and I've accomplished a lot from where I started. In a few months, the Bronco is going to have a whole new body tub and be restored from the ground up. I went to Bronco Super Celebration in 2018, which was the most fun and informative experiences of my life. I got to meet a lot of people who share the same passion I have for my own Bronco. Many people who aren't into Broncos ask me, will you ever sell it? And I've been offered ridiculous amounts of money for it, but to me, the memories it holds are priceless. Every time I start the engine and back out my old Bronco, I stop and imagine Ron is looking down from heaven and smiling.